"Excuse me, are you the guest named Emily? The one at table 5? I froze. The woman standing in front of me wasn't a hostess. She was wearing a full executive chef's uniform, sweat beading on her forehead, her eyes wide with panic. I was standing in the lobby of one of the city's most exclusive 5-star restaurants, getting ready for what was supposed to be a celebratory lunch with my mother-in-law. But what she said next made my blood run cold. She didn't tell me my table wasn't ready. She didn't tell me they were out of the special. She leaned in close and whispered a warning that saved my life. She wants to kill you," the chef stammered, her voice trembling. "Your meal is loaded with ingredients that she knows will send you into anaphylactic shock. You need to leave, now." It turns out, my angelic mother-in-law wasn't the sweet old lady I thought she was. And this stranger in the chef's coat, she held a secret about my husband's past that I never saw coming. Welcome to the story of the day I almost died at lunch and how I teamed up with my husband's ex-wife to take down a monster. To understand how I ended up in that lobby, you need some context. I'm Emily, 31, a creative director at a major ad agency here in Chicago. I spend my days selling dreams to people, but I never thought my own life would turn into a nightmare. My husband, Mark, is a year older than me. We met on a project and clicked instantly. He's the quiet, thoughtful type, the kind of guy who opens doors and actually listens when you talk. We dated for a year and got married. Mark had been divorced once before. He told me it was a short marriage, no kids, and they just grew apart. I didn't pry. Everyone has baggage, right? The important thing was that he treated me like a queen. We live in a nice condo downtown, just a few blocks from his parents. Honestly, I was terrified of the whole monster-in-law trope before we got married. But Linda, my mother-in-law, completely shattered those fears. She was elegant, always smiling, and seemed to genuinely care about me. But there is one crucial thing you need to know about me. I have a severe, life-threatening allergy to the rosacea family. That sounds fancy, but it basically means fruits like apples, peaches, pears, plums, and strawberries are poison to me. Even a tiny amount can cause my throat to close up. I carry an EpiPen everywhere. I discovered this as an adult after eating a bowl of strawberries and nearly suffocating. Since then, eating out has been a source of major anxiety. I have to interrogate waiters and check every ingredient. Mark knows this, and Linda knew it too. In fact, Linda used to be so comforting about it. She once told me, "Emily, my own father had a deadly wheat allergy. I know how scary it is. Don't you worry. Whenever you eat at my house, I will personally check every label. You are my daughter now." Touching, right? I thought so too. She always cooked safe meals for me. I thought I had hit the in-law jackpot. Until last week, I had just been promoted to senior director at work. Everyone was thrilled. Linda called me up, sounding so excited. "Emily, I am so proud of you. I want to take you out for a celebratory lunch, just the two of us. I'm taking you to Le Ciel, that new French place downtown." I hesitated. French cuisine? That usually means fruit glazes and complex sauces. Mom, that's so sweet, but that place uses a lot of fruit. It's kind of risky for me. Linda laughed, a warm, reassuring sound. "Oh, stop being silly. I know the owner. I'm going to call and make the reservation personally, and I will give them strict instructions about your allergy. It's a 5-star restaurant, Emily. They are professionals. Let me spoil you for once." Her enthusiasm, combined with the fact that I had been dying to try this place, wore me down. I agreed. I thought, my mother-in-law is meticulous. She loves me. What could go wrong? On the day of the lunch, I took the afternoon off, put on my best dress, and headed to the restaurant. Linda was already there, looking radiant in a designer suit. We were seated at a VIP table. The restaurant was stunning. But since it was the lunch rush, service was a little slow. Linda insisted we order champagne. We toasted, laughed, and chatted. I felt so lucky. Suddenly, my phone buzzed. It was my boss. There was a minor crisis with a contract I had just signed. I apologized to Linda and stepped out into the lobby to take the call so I wouldn't disturb the other diners. The call took about 5 minutes. I hung up, put my phone in my purse, and turned to go back to the table. That's when a cold hand grabbed my wrist. It was her, the woman in the chef's uniform. "You're Emily, right? The guest at table 5 with Linda?" she asked, breathless. "Yes, is something wrong?" I asked, confused. She looked around, checking to see if anyone was watching, then pulled me into a quiet corner near the coat check. "I'm Kate. I'm the executive chef here. Listen to me. I don't have much time. You cannot eat anything at that table. Do not take a single bite." "Why?" My mother-in-law gave specific instructions about my allergy. Kate let out a dry, bitter laugh. Her eyes were filled with a mix of pity and anger. "That's the problem. She didn't. When she called to make the reservation, I was the one who answered the phone, though she didn't know it was me. She didn't mention a single word about an allergy. But it's worse than that." Kate took a deep breath. "Today, she specifically requested that the kitchen add extra apple puree to your main course glaze, and for dessert, she ordered the strawberry mousse, but asked us to cover it in thick chocolate ganache so you wouldn't see it. She told the staff she wanted to surprise you with new flavors." The blood drained from my face. Apples and strawberries. Those are the two worst triggers for me. If I had eaten that mousse, hidden under chocolate, I would have gone into shock right at the table. I could have died before the ambulance even arrived. "But how do you know this? Why are you helping me?" I stammered. Kate looked me dead in the eye. "Because I'm Mark's ex-wife." My world started spinning. Mark's ex-wife? The chef at this restaurant? Kate started talking fast, filling in the blanks while I stood there in shock. She and Mark had been married 3 years ago. Kate was a talented chef, but after the wedding, Linda forced her to quit her job to be a traditional housewife. The Linda I knew, the sweet, supportive mother, was a mask. The real Linda was a narcissist who despised any woman who was younger, prettier, or more talented than her. Kate had endured psychological torture. Linda micromanaged her cleaning, insulted her cooking. Imagine insulting a professional chef's cooking, and isolated her from her friends. Mark, being a mama's boy at the time, was blind to it. Eventually, Kate couldn't take it anymore. She filed for divorce and left with nothing just to escape. "She's jealous of you, Emily," Kate said. "You're successful, you have a high-powered career, you're independent. She can't bully you like she did me because you don't need her money. So she wants to get rid of you. She wanted you to have an allergic reaction, die or end up in the hospital, and then she would play the grieving mother-in-law and blame the restaurant for negligence. You have to go. Do not go back to that table. She will pressure you to eat," Kate urged. I was shaking. I wanted to cry, but my corporate instincts kicked in. Anger replaced fear. I wasn't going to just run away. I needed proof. I needed to expose this witch. "Kate," I grabbed her hand. "Thank you. You saved my life. But I need one more favor. Does this restaurant record reservation calls?" Kate nodded. "All calls are recorded for quality assurance. I can pull the file for you." "Get it. Send it to my phone, right now." I ran out of the hotel, jumped into a taxi, and headed straight to my own parents' house. On the way, I called Mark and my father-in-law, Mark's dad. I told them it was an emergency and to meet me at my parents' place immediately. My voice was so serious that Mark left a client meeting to rush over. That evening, in my parents' living room, Mark, my father-in-law, and my own parents were sitting there. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife. I put my phone on the coffee table and turned on the speakerphone. Linda was calling me. "Emily, where the hell did you go?" Her voice screeched through the phone. The sweet facade was gone. "I waited at the restaurant for 30 minutes. You embarrassed me. I planned a perfect meal, spent all that money, and you walked out without a word? You ungrateful little brat." I looked at Mark. He was stunned. He had never heard his mother speak like this. "I'm sorry, Mom," I said, my voice eerily calm. "But I found out the restaurant didn't know about my allergy. You told me you warned them, right?" There was a split second of silence. Then she yelled, "I did warn them. Those incompetent idiots must have forgotten. Why do you always question my kindness? You are such a spoiled wife. I wish—" She stopped herself, but it was too late. "You wish what, Mom?" I pressed. "You wish I had eaten that apple glaze and the strawberry mousse? You wish I was dead?" I don't know what you're talking about." Her voice wavered. "Everyone, listen to this," I told the room. I pressed play on the audio file Kate had sent me. Linda's voice rang out clear and cold. Recording, "Yes, I'd like to make a reservation. No dietary restrictions. Actually, for the main course, add extra apple puree to the sauce. And for dessert, the strawberry mousse, but coat it heavily in chocolate. I want the inside to be a surprise." Mark shot up from the couch, his face bright red. He grabbed the phone. "Mom, are you insane? Were you trying to kill my wife?" We could hear her gasping on the other end. "Mark, you're with her." "No, baby, listen to Mommy." "Let me explain." "Explain what?" Mark screamed, tears in his eyes. "I heard the recording. You said no restrictions. You know strawberries kill her. Are you a monster?" My father-in-law, a quiet man who had let his wife run the show for decades, stood up. He walked over and took the phone from Mark. "Linda, pack a bag. I cannot live with a murderer. Do not come home tonight. Do not come home ever." He hung up. The room fell into a terrifying silence. Mark collapsed onto the floor, hugging my knees, sobbing. "I'm sorry, Emily. I'm so sorry I didn't see it. I'm so sorry." Everything happened fast after that. My father-in-law filed for divorce immediately. He couldn't reconcile the fact that the woman he slept next to was capable of attempted murder. He kicked Linda out of the house that night. She had no career, no assets of her own, and had burned bridges with everyone. She's currently living in a run-down motel on the outskirts of town. We considered pressing charges for attempted assault or reckless endangerment. But out of respect for my father-in-law and to avoid a long public media circus, we decided not to involve the police. Yet. However, her reputation is destroyed. The entire extended family knows. She is a pariah. No one will speak to her. As for Kate, Mark's ex-wife, she is my hero. Mark and I went back to the restaurant to thank her personally. Mark apologized to Kate for everything she went through during their marriage, for being blind to his mother's abuse. They had a long, healing conversation. Kate is thriving now. She's the head chef. She has a great boyfriend, and honestly, we've actually become friends. I know. Ex-wife and current wife being friends is weird, but she saved my life. And me? I'm still working hard, still getting promoted. But I have boundaries now. I don't try to please everyone anymore. My father-in-law and Mark threw me another celebration dinner. At our house, cooked by my father-in-law personally. Fruit-free, safe, and full of actual love. I learned a valuable lesson. Family isn't always blood. Family are the people who protect you when you're in danger and who stand up against what's wrong, even if it's their own mother. My evil mother-in-law thought she could remove me to satisfy her sick jealousy. Instead, she removed herself from all of our lives. Karma doesn't miss, and sometimes it wears a chef's hat. What do you guys think? Should I have pressed criminal charges and sent her to jail? Or is her dying alone and broke a better punishment? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, please smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next crazy story time. Thanks for watching. Always check your food, and more importantly, check who you trust. See you in the next one.